Bonjour mes amis, hello from beautiful Paris, France. I'm in the heart of the city of lights. And if you know anything about our ministry, this is our mission field, is the nation of France. And of course I love Paris. You know, it's amazing because years ago when I was in college at Texas Tech University, get your guns up, I was taking French classes and I had no idea why. I loved French so much that I ended up getting a degree in French, didn't know why. In fact, I would sit there and think, this is a wasted degree. I don't know when I'm ever going to use French, but God had a plan. And you know, I had a desire when I would sit in class and learn about France and learn about the beautiful history of this nation, I would just dream of coming to this nation. And I wanted to come here so bad. In fact, it was such a strong desire in my heart. I was determined to come here before I started a family. So my husband and I, when we were married, I said, we have got to go to France before we start a family, before we have children and stuff. Do you know, my first time to come here, I was actually pregnant with Cassidy, and it was a dream come true. Of course, now we come every year. We have all of our resources translated in French, all of our books, and this is the mission field that God's called us to. But God gave me that desire, and my desire was so strong that I was willing to do what it took to get to France. And you know, I want to talk to you about your desires. What is it that you desire so much that you are willing to do what it takes to see that dream fulfilled? You know, I am convinced that the number one motivating factor behind the fulfillment of your dreams is desire. Desire is the number one motivating factor that will cause you to turn wishes and hopes into reality. Now, if you just wish your dreams could come true, you're just hoping things will change, they probably won't. When you develop a burning desire, an intense burning desire, that's when you see your dreams fulfilled. You know, I am so convinced of that. If you really want to lose weight, you desire to get in shape, you'll get in shape. If you really desire to get out of debt, you will get out of debt. If you really desire to go on a European cruise or to come to Paris, you will fulfill that dream. You do what you really desire to do. That's just the bottom line. People do what we really want to do. In fact, I was reading a story about Steven Spielberg, which I thought was so interesting. How Steven Spielberg broke into Universal Studios is a legend in the movie industry. Listen to this. He literally broke in to Universal Studios. Of course, Steven Spielberg, he said when he was a kid, he dreamed of being a producer and being a director, and he made these little amateur films just with the family handy camera, right? Well, his dream, you know, he went to college and he made films and stuff, but he said one day he was taking a tour of Universal Studios along with hundreds of other people. And they're on that little tram that goes through the studio, you know, and he said he sneaked off the tram during the tour and he hid behind two sound stages. He stayed there all day. By the end of the day, he said he made a point to wave at the guard at the gate so the guard would see him. The next day, he went back, waved at the guard. For 3 months, every day, he went to Universal Studios. He said he walked past the guard, he'd wave, the guard would wave back. Then he said he made a point to speak to directors, to editors, to writers. He even wore a suit and carried a briefcase, making people think he belonged there. Isn't this crazy? Then he even found a vacant office on the Universal Studios lot and took space in that office. He took it over. He then added his name to the directory list as if he were an employee. This is crazy. In fact, I got this information from Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, the new version. Anyway, he said he was able to show producers his college film projects, and finally, he convinced them to hire him. Not only that, but he convinced them to replace the original director of the movie Jaws with him. Now, you probably know the story. Steven Spielberg directed the movie Jaws, and of course it took off, broke all box office records, earning $60 million within the first month, which was absolutely unheard of at that time. Why am I telling you this? because his tenacity, his desire, his burning desire, it paid off. He was willing to do whatever it took, some crazy things in fact, and I'm not condoning sneaking into places and taking up vacant offices, but I am saying that he is proof that a burning desire, an intense desire to see a dream fulfilled will pay off. You know, Napoleon Hill said this, desire is the starting point for all achievement. In other words, how bad do you want what you say you want? Is it just a wish or hope, or is it a burning desire that you want more than anything? You will have your debts paid off. You will finish that book this year. You will get your teaching certificate and start teaching school. If it's a burning desire in you, then you will see that dream fulfilled. Well, how do you change your desires from just hopes and wishes? You have to change what you give attention to, and then your desires will change with it. In other words, give your dream more attention than you're giving it right now. Think about it, talk about it, put pictures and images up of what you're believing God for, and keep it before your eyes. Let me just ask you this real quick. What actions are you taking this year to be different than last year? I don't want you to just wish that things had changed and then you come to the end of the year and not much has happened. No, turn those wishes into a burning desire by changing what you give attention to. You can do this. Think about it, talk about it, put pictures up, do what you need to do to get a burning desire. And I'm believing God you're going to see those dreams fulfilled. So, from Paris, France, au revoir mes amis, à bientôt, see you soon. Thanks for watching.